We should be taking micro walks. That's according to many of today's papers. Our Dr Amir is here to tell us more. What is a micro walk, Amir?
It's a good question, Lorraine. It's all in the papers today. And essentially what they're saying is that going for walks, little walks at a time, is better than one big long walk. It's a small study. They put people on a treadmill and then they made them walk for short periods, comparing them to longer periods. And the people who walked for just short bursts and took regular breaks, 10 to 30-second bursts of walking, did better in terms of energy expenditure than the ones that walk for longer periods of time. It's a small study, as I said, but what I would say is any movement is better than nothing. And if 10 to 30 seconds is all you can manage, do that and then build it up slowly.
Exactly. That's sensible. It's what you've been telling us for ages, you know, to do that. Just get up off your bum and walk around. That's the best way to do it. Now, there's new research, isn't there, about, you know how sometimes if you're on an aeroplane and maybe you're going on your holidays and people say, oh, you know, someone's got a nut allergy, so they don't serve nuts, quite rightly. But there is new information about that, isn't there?
There is new information. This is from the Civil Aviation Authority. And what they've said is they've done a huge study lasting years. And even though the amount of nuts that can be in the air when someone eats nuts is minimal, what they've said actually the biggest risk to people with nut allergies on a plane are surfaces where nut dust can settle. So your tray table, your armrest and that kind of thing. So they say that's the biggest risk. So what we want to encourage people to do, the staff on the airlines, to clean thoroughly. But if you have got a nut allergy, get in there and clean those surfaces before you sit down, perhaps with a disinfectant gel or wipe. Actually, I think that's a sensible idea for us all because they're all pretty minging. But what I would always say is if you do hear that announcement saying there's someone with a nut allergy on the plane, please keep your nuts for later, listen to it. You'll survive an aeroplane flight without your nuts. They may not if you open them up. So they take priority. So we do want people to be respectful, but we also want clean surfaces too.
No, absolutely. Do you know what, Amir? My Steve one time lost his phone. We were going on a flight to America. He lost his phone down the seat and the air hostess had to sort of get right into it and bring it out. You want to have seen the muck in that seat. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was really shocking. I think there was animals in there and everything, and fungus and all sorts. It was horrible. So yeah, just give it a wee wipe. You're absolutely right. That's a good thing to do. Now, loads of colds and, you know, sniffles and all the rest of it going round. It's that time of year, isn't it?
It certainly is. There's lots of winter bugs going around. All of these bugs are around all year, but we're seeing peaks of them at the moment. COVID, flu, colds, and norovirus, which is the stomach flu virus. So here are my 5 tips to help reduce your risk of getting them. So number 1, I've been saying this for years, ventilate, ventilate, ventilate. A lot of these viruses are airborne, particularly COVID, flu, and cold viruses. We want to open windows. We want to get air filtration systems in place if we have them. HEPA filters are really good. If you get that air moving, there's less bugs in the air and you're less likely to breathe them in. Imagine a world, Lorraine, imagine a world, this is my ideal world, where you have good air filtration in classrooms and workplaces, so many less bugs, so many kids getting less ill, so much less spread. Number 2, I know this is really basic, but not enough people do it. Wash your hands, people. Wash your hands regularly, especially after using the toilet. My goodness, the amount of people who don't do that. Norovirus, that kind of stomach flu, diarrhea, vomiting virus, can land on surfaces. It stays there for ages. You need to wash your hands in case you touch one of those infected surfaces. Really, really important. Number 3, if you can't wash your hands, try and avoid touching your face and ears and nose and mouth if you're out and about, because that can transfer those things over to you. Number 4, think about communal surfaces. Do they need a wipe down? Doorknobs, lots of people touch them with dirty hands. I'm obsessed with dirty hands. I need hands to be clean. Keyboards, that kind of thing. Make sure you wash them. And 5th and final, keep your immune system tip-top by doing lots of exercise, good quality sleep and good nutrition. But we need ventilation, 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 clean surfaces and clean hands, people. Ventilation, please, my number 1 thing.
No, ventilation. You're right about clean hands, though. I've got obsessed by that, you know, having a baby in the house when she comes to stay, you know, making sure that all the time, and not just the gels. You've got to wash with soap and water.
All soap and water.
Soap and water. As well as that, though, we have this secret weapon, which I absolutely love. Tell me about this golden milk.
So this is Mama Khan's golden milk. It's milk with turmeric, cinnamon, clove, ginger and pepper. I'll put the recipe online later on my Instagram. There's no science behind it. It's just Mama Khan's science. Ancient India, it's been passed down from generation to generation. Most Asian people drink this to kind of keep them protected over winter time. It tastes delicious,
it's
if
gorgeous.
nothing else. Cheers, Ray.
Cheers, love. Thank you so much. And thank you to Mama Khan for this. I absolutely love it. It's like masala tea, which is my favourite as well.